Alright, hello my fellow Aries. I myself am an Aries also, so it's wonderful to be here with you. This is Mindy Lou Mayhew from Mountain Medicine Tarot, so welcome to my channel. I'm going to go ahead and explain my framework first. The spread goes in a circular motion. These will be our clarifying cards, so I will set these aside for a minute here. And we will start here. This is your past, the places that you have been. We'll clarify that all the way to the space of within. This is what's inside of you. Then we go up here to the above, messages from the spiritual realm. And this right here is action. Which action to be taking in this decision of yours, and then we will do the center once we go around in the circle. So, to start, we have Shaman's Death, so a big change coming up. We know in tarot that death does not actually mean end for good, it just means there's a rebirth coming and something new on the way. So, probably like a new endeavor that you're starting that we'll find out more here in the action space. So within the self, we have new abilities. This right here is the water bird. And I really like the water bird because, let me see if I can get it to focus. They're always standing in water and looking down. So their medicine is all about looking within yourself. And then we see at the bottom it says new abilities. So he's kind of diving in here. You can see the circular motion. What we're doing here with tarot is diving into ourselves, our inner workup, our inner medicine. So with this bird going down the rabbit hole, he's doing the inner work to find all these new abilities that we can then share with the world after we have perfected the parts of ourselves that we want to portray to the world. So very powerful card. This doesn't necessarily have upside down meanings because he was upside down. I'll leave him that way, because that might mean, oh, my dog, she's getting really old, so her getting up and down just, I don't know if it's arthritis or what, but anyway, I don't beat my dog, she just has really bad joints. But like I was saying, this one does not have upside down meanings, and so, but if it did, it would mean that possibly someone is going a little bit too deep, maybe being a little bit too hard on themselves. So be kind to yourself as you go through your endeavors of diving deep into your personal makeup. Then we have here humor. This right here is kind of the class clown. He will be the guy at the party who spills wine all over your wedding dress and kind of brings the rain on your parade. And in ancient times, this person had absolutely a place to be, and he was meant to do that. That was his process because the people were tested to see how they would respond. So if this person wrecked your wedding, everyone would be looking at you and wondering if you're going to let it ruin the parade or if it'll just turn into a wet t-shirt party and everybody just has that much better of a time because this person came and changed that. So just keep in mind that people who are tricking you or people who are testing you, this is a card saying your energy might be tested here in the coming beginning. But just keep your head clear, keep your thoughts open to new ideas, and just remember to take everything lightly. It doesn't have to be chaos, it can just be new insights. So I do feel new things coming. In the action, it says the dream time. So this person is just sitting on this hillside, and then his thoughts are going upwards. And this right here is kind of like this black hole that is like this hole in the canvas. It's nothingness, nothingness paired together with everything. You see, it's expansion from the mind place. Moving forward with your mind. It's all about bringing in all these new shapes, internalizing really what is coming new to you, because this ending is happening and new things are coming in. So just really take them all in, and with an intuitive insight of being very open. Just accept all of the new things and stay calm, which I think has a lot to do with that humorous side, because they're saying opposites kind of attract, and you might be faced with a little bit of that here coming soon. But you're going to know this person has this ability to just see through any bullshit. They can really see from a heightened point of view, and because they're looking at the situation from a place of humor, they're actually going to be coming out on top because they're able to see with this vision that other people may not have that kind of skill set. So you're going to want to use that dream time state, and that can be dreams as well. Keeping a dream journal, you might find some really good information in your dreams. And it is said in this book that, you know, back in the olden days, tribal times, the people were able to communicate with their higher self and the other side much easier because the veil was much thinner. So now that we live in a place of heavy gravity, heavy air quality, it's a little bit harder to tap into that unlimited knowing, but it is possible to do, and utilize your dream time for that, because when your body is completely relaxed, you can take in a lot more information. So make sure you're definitely doing your journaling right before going to bed, and deep breathing right before you go to bed, or fall asleep to like a lucid dreaming YouTube video or meditation can really help to like open that veil, and you'll get more information coming in through your dreams that way. Alright, so moving forward, which is in this past experience, we have experience. So this first card comes out and says letting go, so something is definitely coming to more of like an end, and it has to do with moving forward and reflection, which is what we got in the next step. So this just solidifies that there's something to let go of, like to do some cutting cords and everything. But it's followed directly with wisdom. So whatever it was that this situation brought forward to you is going to be very valuable to you moving forward. So you're able to see here we have the universe in the background, and it just blends right into this woman's hair, and then we have a wise woman here. And the eagles also are very wise. They're able to go from the star people, star nation, back to Earth, because, you know, they fly so high they disappear. And so the people did believe that they were messengers from that spiritual realm. They could bring messages to and fro. So it kind of goes back to here with unlimited vision and keeping yourself steady, where it's kind of like this even flow type of energy, where you're learning what you need to learn, and then you go forward, and then you dive, and then you go forward, instead of, like it says here, diving deep into yourself, which is to internalize the things that happen to you so close to the heart that it can actually be damaging. You have to keep this higher knowing in check and in your space. So it's more of this free-flowing type of energy, which as Aries I think we all can use, because, you know, we're fire signs. We like to like nose to the grindstone and dive for it, and that is this energy here where we can find new abilities, yes, and we can jump from new heights, absolutely, but we don't want to come up to a wall and just go too hard. So go easy on yourself and know that these experiences are divinely connected and here for a reason. So we want to be very kind to ourselves and keep our higher knowing open. You want to keep the veil open as much as possible. So let's see what else comes out from the Spirit of the Wheel Tarot cards. I do use 4 different decks. I love them all dearly. These ones are fairly new, but the meanings are very much the same, so they're really good solidifiers. Okay, so from going from within to the upward space, we have this Mastery card. So we can see this pack of wolves, and we have the eyes here and more of the eagles. So it's all about recognizing what's here to change you and recognizing what's here by default. So we don't necessarily have the control of everything that comes in and out of our experience, but we do have the ability to master how we respond. So responding is going to be very big with whatever it is that's going out the door right now, because you're going to want to stay very stoic, very tread fast, very evolutionary, so big changes happening, but it feels very positive to me. So that was only one fell out, two fell out over here, and we'll just go through the wheel this way. So whatever this endeavor is, it feels very good to me. Let's see what's in between here. The medicine wheel itself, very cool, and then these flipped upside up, so we'll see what those are. So you can see that we have the wheel here with the animals, which is the same here. This is the wheel that we are doing. So the cool thing about a wheel is that if you stay in the center, you'll never get trampled. That's a good way to remember it. Just knowing that everything is growing, everything is flowing, and if you have this free-flowing mindset that nothing bad can happen, okay? So just keep very connected to this oneness. It's right in between the dream time and the humor. So it's just that free-flowing open mind, and then understanding that everything is here to help you grow. And all of our situations that we come into contact with are for a divine purpose, even if it's just to teach us when to say no, when to close the valve, when to open the valve, because a lot of times as people who would read tarot and people who would listen to tarot, we tend to be empathic, which means we take on other people's energies. So just keep in mind that this is about your story, this is about your goals, this is about you moving forward in your own right and with your own light. So really contemplate what it is that you want the universe to do, because this is much higher energy over here that can lead us to really, really high heights with this unlimited vision over here. So kind of what we're going for, what the goal is to end up over here with unlimited vision. So I don't feel like there's anything that you don't already know. I don't feel like there's some mystery going on. I just feel like you're going to make the best choices that's going to really benefit the higher good, and I feel like you already know what that is, and you know what you need to do. You just kind of need a solidifier. So we have also renewal that flipped out, so we can just kind of have them here. Success, hope, spiritual process, and we have the winged creatures again here with this really higher knowing, very powerful kind of God-looking being, probably the sun god, which is all about the north, and the north is this top area here, which is spiritual connection to the other side and higher knowing. So this has to do with that higher knowing, bringing you lots of success, and the future is just boundless. There's absolutely no limits here to how far you can go. Then we have this little bit earthier energy. This is the sign of Leo. It's all about victory and learning life's lessons with courage. So moving forward, that's just beautiful. It's very cool how they put the animals together. But yeah, this lesson is going to just kind of skyrocket you forward. That's a fire sign. So this is really the place of fire and moving forward. And then we also had pop out growth, which is more opportunities and a gateway. So this moving forward energy just like wants to run. So we might have some of this Aries energy. You know, Leo, Aries are very similar. So we might have a little bit of this going on where we're just diving wholeheartedly into it. And I feel like it's going to be a really good thing. I say absolutely do it. There's really nothing holding you back so long as you stay open to that change and you stay connected to that higher power, which is telling you to not give up, which is pushing you obviously to learn through these lessons and to push and make your own spiritual process progress to get to this point where, I mean, you can just see auras, you can see energies, you can really work with the light as a light being of planet Earth, and it's magical. So let's see what's here in the action space. We have Mother Earth, so that just keeps in mind to keep on taking care of yourself. Do this action plan, but really put yourself at a high value right now. Nurture yourself. Do the crystals with the bath, just anything and everything you can think of to replenish your energy. Be very diligent about that right now as far as making smoothies full of probiotics. Just treat yourself as if you feel a flu coming on, because right now you just kind of need that extra energy in your body. You need to be filling your body up like a mother would her child you see there. So I feel like there could be maybe a baby on the horizon since this is birth, but I just feel as though this feminine force speaks a lot more to taking care of yourself, just given the amount of action we have here moving forward. I feel like it's a career-based endeavor, something that's very, um, not single as in you can't have a partner while you do this, but I just feel like this action plan has to do with a career and moving forward in a direction that's very singular. So I see this as taking care of yourself. If there's a baby on your mind, then let's do a personal reading and see, because I don't like just saying, hey, there's a baby on the way. That's just, for a general reading, doesn't make sense. So let's see, we've got this one that just popped out. This is the place of Sagittarius, which we are nearing right now. More contemplation, so messages coming in, and deliberation, so being very specific. I feel like the universe is just waiting to know what to do because you've got all this energy just backing you up with action. I mean, all of those pulled out, and the only thing on this earthy side, which is the feminine grounding side, is to just be open to that forward movement and the universal laws of continuation. So long as you remain open and take care of yourself and keep on filling that hole, the hole doesn't ever have to close and the hole doesn't ever have to have an end. You can just be a free-flowing cup. You don't ever have to have your cup too full or too empty. You can just continue on the flow, and that is really the way that we need to be living, and the way that obviously you need all of the energy that you can get right now. So I feel like with all of these new messages coming in and being very open, you can see like this really airy, flowy, sort of just flying with the wind like this. Just keep yourself very level-headed. Try not to do too highs and too lows right now. Keep your meals very steady. Your mindset very clear, and just be very clear with the universe whenever it is that you pray or meditate or before you go to sleep. Just say, hey universe, this is my plan. I know you have my back. Tell me what to do when I wake up tomorrow. And that's been something that I've been using lately, is just when I wake up, I just say, what will you have me do? Or I tell myself in an easier way, because it's just me talking to my higher self, I tell myself, if I had the rest of the day today to do whatever it is that I wanted to do, what would that be? And then I give myself this freedom to choose, and this freedom to just make myself happy in the moment, and to just stop thinking about it and just do what feels good. And I feel like if you follow that, and rather than, I don't like the word contemplation, because I feel like the left brain just needs to do a little bit more of this, because we've got the grounding work here. So kind of two opposite energies. See, this is kind of below the Earth's surface, and then we fly above it as well. So it's this balance here of stay very inside of your cave, but at the same time reaching forward with these ideas, because I feel like they are very, very well supported. I feel like the colors balance themselves very well. I'm interested to see how the death and rebirth come out. We will see. Let's do the center with our other clarifying cards. This one's going to be animal medicine. This one's a lot harder to shuffle because they like to fly. Let's see. Okay, got a couple here. So we have lizards, all about dreaming. Salmon, all about inner knowing. And the skunk is about reputation. Alright, so with the lizard, they have a lot to do about transformation as well, as far as changing, just because they're in between, you know, a fish and a land mammal being. So they're like this in-between stage, and the cool thing about that is anything that's not quite one thing or not quite another thing has a tendency to be connected to this dream time, this hole in the wall, this black hole that is meditation and things. So it just solidifies this dreaming aspect of life, which is moving forward with your mind in meditation. So I feel like when you do that, your guides are here waiting, because right here it just feels very balanced. And I feel like what to do next, which is this little quadrant here, is to nurture yourself, stay true to yourself, feed yourself all the things that you need, and the messages will come to whatever it is you need to continue on this flow, because then by this time next month, of course, we'll have another beginning here. So the inner knowing solidifies that over there, where we deep dive into ourself and our the information that we've gathered from our experiences. When we internalize those things, it becomes our inner makeup. So just be very precise with that, and just internalize the things that help you. If it's something that drags you down or makes you feel scared, then don't concentrate on that. Concentrate on the good stuff. And the messages are there for you to gain from all of these experiences that have been happening. So then we have the skunk, and I love the number 7. It's like my favorite mystical number. It just is magic. And they are really cool because they don't actually attack you. They're actually very sweet animals. They just don't get messed with. So this idea of reputation is just like, hey, I'm here to be sweet and kind to you. You can feed me a flower, but if you mess with me, you know that you're going to get a reaction. So it's just about that balance and just being very kind to others and making sure that what it is that you are known for. Of course, skunks, it's known for their color here and all of that. So whatever it is that you put forward to the world, just make sure that's what you want. And we can change that at any time. Most of the time we have people around us who understand, and we have off days and on days, but like I said, we want to be flowing like this rather than really high ups and really low downs and really high ups and really low downs. So just try to be very level, take things with a grain of salt, and all of your experience, use them to your highest good. Just master the art of keeping the flow open. So we have a couple different cards here that flip to these little black cards. I absolutely love these things. They are Amazonian, so everything here is Native American, but it runs from the length of all of that half of the world. So these are a little bit more Arctic, these are more plains, Amazon here, and these are plains as well. They have the same co-author. So this one here, if you've seen the Path to El Dorado or whatever, there's a little game that they play that has this ball going into the hole that's mounted to a wall, and they play in a big court. It's just a game of strategy, so this represents being very strategic. It's very difficult to do because I believe this is made out of rubber, that back in the day they had rubber trees, so they put it together, and it was very, very heavy, so people would get bruises, people would die. There was just like a very barbaric, not barbaric, but just very serious game. And so it's all about that strategic again, where it's just even flow and being very strategic on how you want to move through life, you see. So, and this one solidifies that. Again, we have here kind of like a yin and yang. We have male and female, the two different sides of the spectrum. So it's all about balancing yourself, balancing the male and female sides, which is what we're doing here. If you look at the framework as a circle, we just run a line through the middle. Everything here is female, here is male. This is grounding, this is moving forward. This is the earth, this is the sky. And we see that here. Alright, Aries, I hope this worked as good for you as it did for me. This is the next one on the deck here, and this is the Moon Goddess. She's all about healing and cycles and calendars. So I think having a dream journal, and if you're female, keeping very good track of your cycle is very powerful, because that's what makes us women. So when you get in tune with that cycle, which is what this goddess is going to represent with all of the moons, is I like to connect my time of the month to the moon, because whatever cycle it's on, it's likely to be close to that cycle next month, and then you can kind of do that ebb and flow with yourself. That's just a way to kind of get into yourself if you are female and this works for you, it's just another way to keep track of things that are flowing into your life. And if you keep an eye on what the moon is doing while it's connected to you and you're flowing with it, it's easy to get into astrology, and it's easier to look inside of yourself for different emotions and maybe why those are coming up for you. So just be very kind to yourself. Keep all of these things in mind. It looks like balancing yourself and moving forward with the ebb and flow, and just be very wise with your decision making and stay true to yourself and nothing but yourself, and shine bright. I will see you guys. Oh, and if you would like to work with me, there is only one way to do that right now. I'm opening up a group program on my Facebook group, so go to www.facebook.com/groups/Mountain Medicine Mindset. It's where we go through this cycle where we will spend 1 week of every week of December in one of these quadrants. So the first week we'll look at the past and see what it is that's getting let go of. We will move to within, whatever it is that you internalize. We will move forward, as in up, to see what messages come to you from the universe, and then we will move forward with these action steps. And that ends right on New Year's Day of 2018. And then I will be launching a program for business entrepreneurs to hopefully launch new businesses that are designated through service-based businesses. So get a hold of me through there or send me a quick email, and I will see you guys hopefully there in the group program. Thank you.